Hey guys, Tacoma guy here. All right, we made it back. Made it out of the snow. I did get stuck. uh, so here's some things that we learned from this. All right, first thing that we learned is being prepared works. So I was prepared. That was the first thing that we learned. I had what I needed to get out. Okay, I had extra weight in the truck. I had some salt, which I can use for traction. I had my shovel. Plus I had my gear. When I go off-roading, I bring gear in case we have to walk out. That's a possibility. You might get stuck and you have to walk out. You might just sleep overnight in your truck. I'm prepared for that. But I had my winter gear. So I had my boots, gloves, snow pants, all that. And I needed that because I had to dig the truck out. Okay? So we had to do all that. So good news is I was prepared and had the stuff. I had a full tank of gas. I always top off the truck before we go off-roading, which is a good idea. They don't get good gas mileage. Even if you're not that far from where you need to be, once you start getting down to the quarter tank, that starts getting dangerous when you're off-roading. So I topped the tank off. So I had a full tank. That was good. We weren't really that far off the main road where I got stuck, which is why I wasn't that worried about turning around. So we were prepared. We had the gear. We had everything. What didn't we do? So here's the mistakes that we made. When you are going to do something, we talked about pre-running your course. I should have walked out in the snow. When I backed up a little bit, I could feel it was getting soft. And I'm like, well, I've done this 1,000 times, so what's the big deal? But haven't done 1,000 times with these tires. These are my old tires. With the bigger tires, the 33s, I may have not even gotten stuck, honestly. I probably would have pulled right out of there. It might have been a little bit of a hassle, but I probably would have got back out. These tires aren't as aggressive. They're not as soft. It's a harder material. I'm going to talk about that with my C rating to E rating tire video. That's a harder compound, so it's not as soft in the snow, even though there's more siping. Okay. Next thing is these tires are old. They're still tread, but you can see it's kind of worn down a little. These tires, that rubber's not soft anymore. These tires are like 7 years old. Okay, so they're not optimal for winter, but I need to get a daily. I don't know what I'm getting. Hint, hint, I'm looking at the new Tacoma and new 4Runner are probably 2 years away yet. I don't know if I'm going to get maybe a WRX. I don't know if I'm going to get maybe the new Bronco. There's a couple things I'm floating around between what I learned off-roading with this truck, what I want on the new one. The reliability of the Toyota is hard to beat. But, so for right now, I want to get a winter car, but I don't want to spend the money. If something's in the horizon, I'm going to buy right away, but it doesn't look like anything's that close other than the Bronco. So this thing had to go through winter as a daily vehicle. I didn't want to put wear and tear on my good tires, so I put my old ones on so they're not optimal. We're just going up north for a few days, like really basically overnight. So just only got a few hours to tear around. So I did not put my good tires back on. Okay, and plus I want saving wear and tear on my wheels because the salt in Wisconsin is horrible on your components. Okay, right? I think I've talked about this. I mean, look what my stuff looks like, dude. It's sad. It's sad. I think the next vehicle, I will switch my shocks out in winter. I'll buy cheap shocks for winter and save my good ones for summer. So it's annoying. So I put my factory wheels back on with these 32-inch tires, but they're getting hard. So they don't have the traction they did in the snow. Okay, so I didn't have the right tires on. Didn't have my tires deflated. Okay, because we were just going around for a little bit. I'm like, hey, it'll be fine. And I didn't pre-check the course. If I just would have stopped the truck for a second, you know what, I'm just going to walk back here and see how deep the snow is. If I would have realized that was like a 2-foot drop, I probably just would have backed my way out. Okay, it would have been a hassle. I had to back up maybe about a mile half mile to a mile, it would have been a pain in the butt, but I wouldn't have been stuck for 2 hours. So it would have saved a little bit of time. I was on the wrong trail. I wanted to turn around and get off that trail. It was a snowmobile trail. And I'm like, you know what, I probably shouldn't be driving on this in the winter. In the summer, it's not a big deal. Everybody uses that trail in the summer, but in the winter, it looks like it's pretty dedicated for snowmobiles. Didn't see any truck trails. I'm like, I better turn around and get off this path. Which I did and got stuck. So I didn't have the right tires. I didn't have the right tire pressure. I didn't check my course. Okay, I know you're just backing up and turning around. I've done it 1,000 times, but being on the hard pack, the soft snow on the side was about 2 foot drops. So, and without having the proper tires on, that was a big deal. Okay, it got hung up. My frame was hung up. My spare tire, my rear axle, my hitch, all this stuff was packed in the snow. The only bad thing about having a hitch on is if your rear's low, it can get hooked on things. So my axle, everything was so packed with snow that the truck lifted off the ground. It was almost high-sided. The frame was almost high-sided out. But I had to get it moving so it wouldn't high-side. So I had to dig this all out. But when it's downhill and then you're in 2-3 feet of snow, that was a chore digging that out. It was a couple hours. So I had that, had the right gear. Oh, I have a product review while I'm talking about this. We got these, can you see these pants? Nice, hey? Weatherproof pants. If you guys have Costco by you, Weatherproof has these jeans. And they're felt lined. Can you see that? Yeah, you can. They're super warm. These pants are warm. And kneeling down in the snow, the outside was getting wet, but the water wasn't soaking through. They're I'm going to say semi-water resistant. So they were wet on the outside, not wet on the inside. But I had to dig out so much snow, I'm like, I had to switch to my snow pants to dig out. So, bottom line is, I had the right gear, I had the right stuff. I skipped a couple steps that I normally don't do. Got stuck, but I had the stuff to get myself unstuck. It was getting a little, she was getting a little scared because it was getting late at night. It was getting dark out. You're in the north and it's winter. There was a storm coming. It was going to start snowing in about an hour. And truck was not budging. But eventually I knew it was the thing that I knew is that everything was frozen and all I had to do was dig the snow out until I hit dirt and the truck would come out, which it did. So even though I wasn't afraid about turning around, maybe with these tires in hindsight, I shouldn't have taken that risk. Okay, my risk assessment was off. But everything else we had, so our learning lessons, once again, have the proper gear, have the proper stuff. You do a couple extra steps. I could have maybe still gotten stuck because maybe I said, you know what, I'm going to try to turn around anyways, but I got stuck. Nothing you can do about it. Happens. That's why you bring your gear. All right. Thanks. Goodbye.